COVID-19 changed where we worked, how we worked, and for some, whether we worked at all. By and large, the pandemic has been a nightmare, but studies increasingly show it's unexpectedly also given Americans a different perspective on work and life. Check it out. The Morning Consult collected data from 2,000 employees and found 72% say the pandemic caused them to rethink their skill sets and their careers entirely. But here's where things get interesting. A separate poll found that those who said that they would not return to their pre-pandemic careers cited a better work-life balance as the main reason at 56%, beating out higher pay. That's right, quality of life over money. This shift in career paths is contributing to labor shortages in certain industries. Now that the demand is rebounding, the workers just aren't there. Especially the service industry. They're really feeling the squeeze of the labor shortage.
The pandemic, honestly, had a very large impact. It made me realize how insecure the hospitality industry was. And it made me realize that at the snap of a finger, it all gets shut down.
Ariana is one of those who made the switch during the pandemic, from bartender to real estate agent.
My bar shut down. I had no income. I had to move in with my fiance's parents and him. Go away.
Obviously, this is a big problem for restaurant owners.
So, with humans clearly hard to come by, one restaurant in Texas thinks it might have found the answer. Check it out.
Meet Bella the robot. She helps out here by seating guests and running food to the tables. She stands about 4 feet tall. Like all you kids these days, she has a screen where her face should be.
My name is Nir Sella. I'm the owner of Layered and Room 111 here in McKinney.
Like many restaurants around the country, Nir Sella's quaint cafe by day, speak easy by night, was struggling to find employees after many of them left during the pandemic.
Nothing worked. Nothing worked. We didn't know what to do.
And so, just doing what we all do from time to time, getting lost down the rabbit hole of eerily advanced robot videos online, Nir suddenly had a brilliant idea.
I was just looking for other ways how to do incentive to bring more people, changing the pay rate and doing all this thing. And I stumbled into a video in Japan. Are these robots serving people? And I started researching. I started to see if something here around us, if there is a company. Couldn't find anything, but I found a company that just opened a headquarters in Plano and started talking to them, and we started using it.
By the way, Bella's more than just a fun gimmick to lure customers in. She's actually really helpful.
We're using it more as a server. You know, they have sensor on each shelf on the robot, and it can carry around 14 plates. The server can carry 4 or 5 plates, a good server. When you take all the food for that particular table, he knows that there is no more food for this table, go to the next one, then he go back. So we have maybe less staff, but we giving now better service.
It's only a matter of time before robots like Bella become our feudal overlords, and we humans are the ones serving them omelets. But for now, Nir stresses that the robot cannot and will not replace any human service. As he said, she's just there to help give customers better service. The hard part, though, remains finding humans to hire.
So in the beginning, we didn't think about employment problem. We just dealt with COVID, less people came in, and I have a lot of teenagers that work here, and their parents were worried that they come in working in a restaurant and then coming back home. So we lost some employees. Then the unemployment checks kicked in, and if they work here making 700, 600, 800 a week, now they're making 1,400 staying at home. That was challenging.
While generous unemployment checks and fear of catching COVID do contribute to the shortages in the service industry, it's much more complicated than that. In the broader scope, the pandemic also allowed many to just stop and think about what they expect from their jobs and their life in general.
I realized that I wanted to be in a job where I was actually appreciated, not only by those that I was working with, but by my clients as well. And I think in other industries, you get a lot more appreciation than you do in the bar business. And people think that they appreciate you by giving you a halfway decent tip, but a smile and not being rude also goes a long way. So I'm kind of thankful for the pandemic because it pushed me outside of my comfort zone and made me go into an industry that I most likely wouldn't have had the pandemic not hit, because I was so comfortable in the bar. I was so comfortable as being a waitress and a bartender.
In response, restaurants are offering better compensation packages and incentives too.
We raise the rate. If servers work on tips or the 213 and tips here in Texas, we try to give the base salary. We try to bonuses. We try to get interviewed, to get paid to come and interview.
You heard right. Nir was willing to pay potential applicants just to come in for the interview. But is higher pay enough to reverse this exodus from the service industry?
Sometimes I'd have customers that were difficult, but not so difficult that it wasn't worth the money. But in general, even though I was making a gigantic paycheck, it wasn't worth the stress that it caused me once I'd leave and while I was on the shift.
It seems at the moment, the American hourly worker has an upper hand and a say in wage conversations. Question is, will this trend continue? And what will happen if it does?
We're also very worried that you start researching and become a Terminator or some, you never know.